They just announced breaking news right now. We have a logo. That is the official Caitlin Clark Nike logo. And it's not just that. I mean, this is cool. Nike has just announced that a signature product line will be dropping soon with signature shoes coming.
The basketball world just witnessed a checkmate, and it wasn't on the court. With a single, silent move, Caitlin Clark didn't just launch a logo, she may have just ended the most talked-about rivalry in sports. While Angel Reese was planning her big comeback with Reebok, Nike dropped a bomb that shattered her entire strategy, leaving her scrambling in the dust. The question is no longer who will win the war, but how badly the loser will be forgotten.
Feels good. Got the pants, got the charms, necklace, zipper, everything.
The genius of Caitlin Clark's new logo is in its devastating simplicity. It's not just two interlocking C's, it's a masterclass in branding that reflects everything she is on the court: clean, confident, and absolutely lethal. The moment it hit the internet, it became more than a logo. It was a cultural symbol. Fans didn't just like it, they obsessed over it. Social media was flooded, Times Square billboards lit up, and analysts hailed it as one of the most brilliant signature logos in modern sports. Nike didn't just give her a design, they handed her an emblem of an empire she was already building, and what happened next would change the game forever.
You don't get told no. Like, you're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come soon.
Let's talk about the numbers, because they tell a story that is nothing short of terrifying for any competitor. Clark's reported $28 million. 8-year deal with Nike isn't just a record for women's basketball, it's a statement of absolute dominance. Her draft day jersey didn't just sell well, it became the fastest-selling jersey in any sport ever. She's not just outselling other WNBA players, she's outselling NBA titans like LeBron James and Luka Doncic. This isn't just popularity, it's a commercial phenomenon that has transcended sports. And it proves that Nike wasn't just signing an athlete, they were investing in a cultural reset.
It's about being part of Caitlin Clark's unstoppable rise.
It looks really unique, I think it's very creative for Caitlin Clark to come up with something like this. And I just enjoy all of it, it's like aura.
We love it! It's simple, yet it speaks a lot.
I love it so much.
I'm a big fan of it. Simplicity is the best. I like the design. Nike always does great with design, so I'm a huge fan of the logo.
It looks really cool. I was really excited to see it last night, and it looks like we're going to get shirts with it on it, so that's pretty exciting too.
I like it. I like how it incorporates like the CC.
I love it. Double C's. Let's go, Caitlin!
Meanwhile, in what feels like a different universe, Angel Reese signed her deal with Reebok. On the surface, it sounded impressive. Shaquille O'Neal himself, the new president of Reebok basketball, anointed her as the face of the brand's revival. They promised her a signature shoe and a new beginning. But peel back the curtain, and it looks less like a power move and more like a desperate gamble. Reebok, a brand whose glory days are a distant memory, is trying to use nostalgia and a controversial star to claw its way back to relevance. But they quickly learned that hype from the past can't compete with a phenomenon of the present.
I've been telling y'all to stay patient. I've been telling y'all that Nike takes their time, that A'ja Wilson's shoe deal was 2 years in the making, that Paige Beckers had PEs, not her own signature shoe, and that Caitlin Clark's was 100% coming. And people kept saying, oh, Nike fumbled the bag with Caitlin. It has to get out there. Nike fumbled the bag. No, they didn't. It takes time. She's got to develop a whole freaking product line.
But was the Shaq factor ever going to be enough? Having a legend in your corner sounds great in a press release, but it quickly became a double-edged sword. Shaq, a titan from a different era, seemed to be projecting his own historic rivalries onto Reese, trying to manufacture a beef that the market simply wasn't buying. His old-school, bravado-first approach feels out of touch in today's more nuanced world of athlete branding. Instead of elevating Reese, his presence may have unintentionally framed her as a throwback, a relic of a past era trying to compete in a game that has completely changed. His Midas touch, it seems, has its limits, especially when pitted against the unstoppable momentum of a true modern icon.
Angel Reese's first signature shoe is set to release. It's set to release. Now, it's not a bad shoe. Now, it's not a bad shoe. This is my only problem with it. The colorway. Like, I just feel like they could have had a little more fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Especially being that it's for the All-Star game. Like, why do a basic white shoe? Man, you could have did so much more to make this shoe pop. And y'all just like, nah, we just gonna do a regular white shoe.
The difference in public reception tells the whole story. When Caitlin Clark's merchandise drops, websites crash. Her jerseys sell out in minutes, creating a resale market that rivals luxury streetwear brands. Fans camp out, set alarms, and treat every release like a major cultural event. Now try to find that same energy for Angel Reese's merch. You can't, because it doesn't exist. Her gear is readily available, sitting on virtual shelves with no frenzy, no sellouts, and no buzz. It's the deafening silence of a brand launch that nobody asked for, a brutal confirmation that you can't force people to care.
Product.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlin Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize that."
Even the logos themselves reveal the massive gap between the two stars. Clark's is sleek, timeless, and powerful. It whispers confidence. Angel Reese's logo, a stylized AR with a halo or a crown on top, feels like it's screaming for attention. They call it the AR Halo, but it looks more like something designed for a video game character than a serious athlete. It feels forced, as if it's trying to convince you of a status that hasn't been earned. When you need to put a halo on your own brand, it's usually because you're hoping for some divine intervention to save it from irrelevance.
Caitlin Clark is simply the talk of the internet today. Her and Taylor Swift broke the damn internet. Yes, bro. And for all the people that was hitting me up about Caitlin Clark's signature logo, somebody said it looked like Chanel. I said it looked like Gucci. But whatever it is a luxury sports brand. I can't think of very many luxury sports brands. Guys, yeah, do you, like, I'm a fashion guy. And I understand what Nike is doing. Nike is trying to get into the luxury brand style.
This reveals the authenticity illusion that separates them. Clark's brand feels completely organic. She's a record-breaking shooter from Iowa who plays with a quiet fury. Her branding reflects that. It's minimalist, powerful, and universally appealing. Reese, on the other hand, seems to be chasing a constructed image. One day she's a fashion icon. The next she's the Bayou Barbie. The next she's an unapologetic villain. This lack of a clear, authentic identity makes it difficult for a broad audience to connect with her, and even harder for them to open their wallets. People buy into a story they believe in, and right now, Clark's story is the only one that feels real.
Sorry, young lady. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody would be watching the WNBA additionally for you. This is all about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is bringing the money to the game, the planes to the game, the TV viewership. The WNBA is on fire because of Caitlin Clark.
This battle was never going to be fought on an even playing field because Nike is a global empire and Reebok is a forgotten kingdom. Nike is rolling out Caitlin Clark's brand across the entire planet. Her logo will soon be seen on courts in Europe, Asia, and South America, worn by kids who see her as a symbol of greatness. Reebok, on the other hand, is struggling to make Angel Reese a household name outside of a few specific online circles. Clark is building a worldwide following. Reese is still fighting for recognition in her own city.
She seeks that attention, right? And another thing is, it's obvious she's jealous of Caitlin. Every interview, every tweet, everything is about Caitlin. I haven't yet to see Caitlin even respond to her yet. Have y'all?
No.
So when you asking me like, yo, I get it, everybody's watching women's basketball now, who's the real reason? Well, yes, you are right. Reese has a small amount of that, right? But the other real credit goes to Caitlin, not just because what she's doing outside the court and she's waving her hand, doing all that. It's because she's giving buckets in basketball, right? And she looks like Steph Curry. And that's simple.
The jealousy from Reese's camp has become painfully obvious. In interviews, she consistently avoids saying Caitlin Clark's name, referring to her as that girl, or offering short, dismissive answers when asked about her. She'll post a cryptic tweet right after Clark achieves another milestone, a clear attempt to steal a sliver of the spotlight. But fans see right through it. They see it not as confidence, but as a deep-seated insecurity, the quiet rage of someone who knows they are being left behind and can do nothing to stop it.
People are selling the new Caitlin Clark Kobe's for double, sometimes more than double what they actually paid for them. So it's been estimated there's about 13,000 of these shoes that were released from Nike, and literally within minutes, all sold out for about $190 a piece. People knew these were going to be hot, so resellers were picking them up on the cheap and now doubling and sometimes tripling their profits on a place like eBay. So if you were lucky enough to get a pair of these, put them up on eBay, you're going to sell them for around $350, $400 minimum, depending on the size. And that's just kind of the way it works right now with anything Caitlin Clark related. The stuff is really hot. Watch for Caitlin Clark stuff because it sells off the shelves, especially on eBay.
This feeds into the fatal flaw of her entire brand strategy. The villain persona simply doesn't sell products on a mass scale. Leaning into being the bad guy might generate clicks and controversy, but it rarely translates into the kind of widespread loyal consumer base that brands like Nike are built on. Parents aren't rushing to buy their kids the jersey of the athlete known for taunting and dismissiveness. While Clark is positioned as an aspirational hero, Reese is pigeonholed into a niche role that limits her commercial ceiling. Controversy creates temporary buzz, but it's inspiration that moves merchandise.
Caitlin Clark can't have anything without some negativity. Sports Illustrated posted this, but I actually read the article. It's just hater. He used random people's opinions on X and Twitter. Fans don't like her logo. No, you don't like the logo. You just found some random people that agree with your opinion. This is called confirmation bias. I can't stand people like that. What they do is they find anybody who confirms their bias. So what they do Google searches and things like that instead of just being objective. No, I think most people like the logo.
From a corporate standpoint, this has been a bloodbath. Nike's investment in Clark is already paying off 1,000 times over, generating earned media and cultural relevance that money can't buy. Their strategy looks brilliant, timely, and perfectly executed. On the other side, you have Reebok executives who likely thought signing Angel Reese would be their ticket back into the basketball conversation. Instead, Nike allowed them to have their little press conference, then dropped the Clark logo and completely erased them from the narrative. It was a corporate assassination in real time.
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
Caitlin Clark's new Kobe Bryant 5 sneaker sells out online in minutes. There hasn't been this much calamity over a white woman's shoe since Cinderella and the glass slipper.
But the most savage part of this entire saga is the timing. Caitlin Clark is accomplishing all of this while sitting on the sidelines with an injury. She isn't even playing, yet she is single-handedly dominating the sports world with a single logo reveal. This is the ultimate humiliation for Angel Reese, who is on the court every other night, actively playing, and still can't generate a fraction of the buzz Clark creates by simply existing. It proves that Clark's stardom has transcended her performance. She herself is the main event.
My problem with Angel Reese is that when we talk about an attitude can make somebody unattractive, her attitude and just her demeanor really rubs me the wrong way. I'm not on the court, so maybe Caitlin Clark has said something crazy to Angel Reese. I have not heard it. Angel Reese, whenever she has the opportunity to throw a shot, she does, and she makes herself look like an ass. They're watching the WNBA because of one person. It's okay. A talented player, maybe you and Caitlin Clark will share the lead down the line, but most people are watching games because of Caitlin Clark.
This was never just about two athletes. It was about the colossal difference between the machines behind them. Nike is a finely tuned global juggernaut with decades of experience in creating icons. They know how to build a legend because they've done it with Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Tiger Woods. Reebok is a company attempting a revival with a skeletal crew, trying to recapture a magic that died with the 90s. Placing Angel Reese at the center of that shaky foundation was always going to be a recipe for disaster when a true force of nature like Clark emerged. Beyond personal brands, there's the undeniable Caitlyn effect on the entire sport. Caitlyn Clark doesn't just elevate herself, she elevates everyone around her. Attendance, viewership, and cultural relevance for the entire WNBA skyrocketed the moment she arrived. Teams that play against her see record ticket sales. The league itself has become mainstream news. That's why Nike's investment is so genius. They bet on someone who could lift an entire ecosystem. Reese, by contrast, hasn't elevated anyone but herself. Her team remains irrelevant, and her presence hasn't shifted the league's culture in any meaningful way. What we are witnessing is a monopoly in the making. Nike's move with Clark isn't just about this season's sales, it's about cementing their control over the future of women's basketball for the next decade. By crowning Clark so decisively, they are sending a message to every other brand and every other aspiring star. The throne is already taken. They have effectively locked Reebok and Angel Reese out of the conversation before it even began, ensuring that any future success they have will always be in the shadow of Clark's empire. In the end, this was never a rivalry, it was a coronation. Caitlyn Clark is not just winning the brand war, she has redefined the entire landscape. She is building an empire on a global scale, while Angel Reese is left with a regional brand that feels more like a side project. The world has chosen its new queen, and every sold-out jersey, every viral clip, and every billboard confirms it. While Nike prepares to flood the world with Clark's iconic logo, Reese is left to wonder how it all went so wrong. She thought she was in a competition, only to discover she was just a footnote in Caitlyn Clark's origin story. If you're excited about Caitlyn's signature merch and shoe, then comment Baby Goat, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen and we will see you in the next one.